she did them, and I was aware she did them, and I just didn't know how to stop her from doing perks, and I kept warning her about fentanyl because I have a lot of friends that lost their kids. So I'm part of that club now. And I used to beg her, and tell her, please stop taking them. You don't know what's in them. In my daughter's case, is she didn't OD. For people that don't know the story, she was murdered by fentanyl. This is a picture of my daughter for the people that never seen her.
And I can't say it enough times. Do not accept anything from anyone you don't know. And even if you do know them, don't accept it unless you know what it is and where it's come from. And
I would say at my worst, I was probably taking between 30, 35, sometimes maybe 40 a day.
If anything, the way I look at it is like Sopranos saved me. When I would think like, man, what are you doing to yourself? It would be a lot easier for me to go like, stop doing this. Look at what your life could be, instead of what a lot of my friends were dealing with. And, I think it's 5 of my friends who I brought to the premieres of The Sopranos are dead now.
I had my own battle with addiction as well. The Vicodin and Percocet, that was the thing. Never, I didn't do heroin, or it wasn't coke or anything else. It was Vicodin and Percocet.
By 2005, I was a full-blown heroin addict and a crack cocaine addict.
And even people with the worst kind of mental illness have a chance if they have the capacity to be honest with themselves. The reality is we've been lying to ourselves with every drink we put in our mouth, or every puff we take, or every pill that we pop, or whatever we're doing. And then we wonder why people get pissed off at us, but we don't see that it's what we're doing. It's not my mother, my father, my brother, my uncle, my sister. No, it's me too.
The consequences are too severe for me. The damage I've done to my health, it's a fucking miracle. Nothing short of a miracle that I am still alive. So, if I can do it, any of you can do it.
When people suffer from alcoholism or drug addiction, there must come a moment when your life totally crashes. For me, that moment came when the pain was too great and the consequences were too profound. Only then did I decide to change. Recovery and sobriety is all about change, and for me, it started when I woke up in a grimy hotel room in a shitty little town in Pennsylvania. And so, if you want a new life and start a new journey of a lifetime, you've come to the right place. You want to drink? That's your business. You want to stop drinking? That's our business. Welcome to Recovery Tube.
Hello, guys. Sorry, I didn't know what my greeting was going to be for this show. Just hit me at the last second. I got to say something. Anyway, well, I knew this show was coming. First of all, we were doing the addiction recovery shows on Wednesdays, and I'd like to go back to doing them every Wednesday. It's hard sometimes because when, money's tight, donations are low, I got to do as many regular shows as possible, but I'm going to try to do this, for no other reason than, for my mom. I think she was especially proud of the stuff we were able to do on here, the people we were able to help, or the fact that we were able to help people. So I want to try to stick to some sort of schedule Wednesdays, 4 or 5 every Wednesday. But I knew this particular show was coming because obviously I want to talk about, where my head's at with this whole thing. And I know a lot of people are concerned about the possibility of me relapsing because of all this. And I don't blame you. I'm a little concerned myself. But today, if you guys don't mind, I know you're always here to support me and it doesn't matter what I'm talking about. I'm just going to rant about what's going on in my brain because I'm trying not to do it on the regular shows for a whole bunch of reasons. I want to do it on an addiction and recovery show, and that's what this is. So I have to get all this stuff off my chest, guys, and you're who I talk to, you know, so I hope that's okay with all of you because that's my plan. That's my plan. I'm lost, guys. I'm truly lost. I have no idea what to do, what to think, or how to feel. I really don't. And it's a horrible fucking feeling. I've had some very bad thoughts lately, some very bad ideas, and I'm very confused about how to go forward, you know? No, definitely, Pat. Absolutely. Yeah. I know that much. I just, you know, you never know with us as addicts. We can know that full well and still fuck around and slip up or something. That's true, Chris. What's up, EB from VA? How are you? I know you are, Miss Camp. You're wrong. I know. I worry about you all the time. I don't know if I need advice. I don't know if I need some sort of mental help. I don't know if I need just to talk. I don't know what I need to do, but this is incredibly difficult, as you can imagine. You know, you guys know how I felt about my mom. And don't get me wrong, you know, we had issues over the past, you know, year and a half or so, me and my mom. You know, she was a Class A ball breaker, no doubt. I loved her to death, though. She had a huge heart. She just, hold on. What does it say? Well, Georgie, if you don't want to watch, don't watch. The fuck you want from me? Why you got to come in here and be a dickhead? Why is that necessary? Anyway, there's always got to be one. I don't know. I don't care if you're smoking weed. Who gives a fuck? But it's the thing about, you know, what are you telling me? Like if I cry or something, I'm doing something wrong. What's the problem? Unless I misunderstood. I don't know, but that's what it seems like to me. Anyway, you guys know how close me and my mom were, even with, you know, the issues we had from time to time. You know, it's my mom, and we were always very close to each other. You're going to have issues with anybody in that situation. You can have arguments and fights and stuff like that, you know, but it didn't matter with me and her. It always, you know, ended up the same. You know, we could fight like animals, and then 2 days later, you know, it's like it never happened. You know, that's how you know when you really love somebody and they really love you. So none of that even matters, you know, like I'm sure you guys have lost people. And when you lose somebody, all that petty shit that happened in the past, that all goes away. It doesn't even really cross your mind like that. The only reason I brought it up is because I never try to sit here and act like, you know, any relationship is perfect. No relationship is going to be. That's just the way it is, you know, but when my mom passed, and I told you guys this, I really truly lost it. I mean, you know, when Shannon told me she had passed when we were in the kitchen and I ran in and saw her, and I mean, I really, really lost it. And the first few days I did a lot of crying. There was a lot of complete and total sadness. It was very tough for me to even talk about it or think about it. But I haven't cried much since. I don't understand why, really. I'm very, very sad. I feel like I'm in a full-blown clinical depression, but I haven't cried a whole lot lately. I have my thoughts about why that might be. Maybe because I did so much crying leading up to her death out of fear of it, you know? I don't know. Maybe because I'm in denial. I've been reading about this, and everything I read says that, you know, it's normal. Some people become completely numb, where they have like a roller coaster of emotions. They're up, they're down, they're up, they're down. It could be a million different things. you know, but people deal with grief differently. Yeah, Chris, I think you're right. I think as far as that goes, as far as, you know, like really falling to pieces, I was prepared. As far as just dealing with her death, I was not, because I don't know what to do, guys. And I'm very, very scared because, like I said, I've been having some bad thoughts and bad ideas, and I scare myself sometimes. I'm also tripping a little bit. I was just at the skate park, and I don't know why, but I was doing some very risky things I probably shouldn't have been doing. Things that I would never have, you know, done before because of how risky they are. So I don't know what that's about, but that's got to be part of it. I'm taking stupid chances, you know, with my own safety and health. That's part of it, War. Part of it is because, yes, you know, her life, she had very little quality of life for the last couple of years, very little. And it just got worse month by month, you know, so there is a part of it that's a relief for her, you know, that seeing how ready she was when we talked to her about the comfort care and stuff. I mean, it was pretty apparent that she was not only, you know, ready and prepared, but maybe even happy about it, you know, that it was the end. There's no doubt. I've gone over everything in my head a million times, everything that was said in the hospital room, everything that was said, you know, when she went into hospice at my brother's, everything that was said between doctors, nurses, everything, you know, and every conversation we had back and forth. I recorded a lot during that damn near 2 weeks because, I'm sorry, 1 week from when she got sick to when she passed. I recorded a lot of stuff because, at least I attempted to, because I wanted to make sure that when I spoke to her, I said everything I had to say. I didn't want to have to spend the rest of my life questioning, did I say this? Did I say that? Unfortunately, a lot of that recording didn't work. It didn't pick up, you know. But I'm pretty sure, you know, of what was said back and forth, and she was fully aware. Fully aware. I mean, you didn't want to come out and say, Mom, you know you're dying, right? You don't want to do that. But she knows. They've been trying to talk her into palliative care and comfort care and hospice for years, you know. So she knew. She knew what it meant. I didn't tell you guys about one part. I think I forgot. The day my mom was going to leave the hospital, which was that Friday, which would be 2 Fridays ago, I was there with her from early in the day until she got to the point where she couldn't stay awake anymore. And she was going to be leaving the hospital in a couple hours anyway. So they were going to be getting her ready and all that stuff. They had to come in to turn her defibrillator off. I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys, but man, does it hit you when that happens. And my mom knew this. She was awake when they were doing it. They're doing that because you're going to die soon, and your defibrillator will just keep shocking you. You know, my mom also had a DNR and everything else. So they turned her defibrillator off. They do that with heart failure patients. It became pretty real then, but somehow it still isn't 100% real now. I every time I look at her pictures or anything like that, I don't know. I can't manage to convince myself that those are the last pictures, you know, that there'll never be any more, and that our conversation was our last conversation was in fact our last conversation, and there'll never be another one, and stuff like that. It's very difficult for me to deal with. And I feel like if it really had completely hit me, I'd be, you know, I'd be a wreck, a complete and total wreck. I feel like it comes and goes, you know. Today I had to pay my mom's storage because, like I was telling you on the earlier show, I believe, or maybe yesterday, we need more time to clean it out. So, and it's due tomorrow. So I paid that, and I was at the skate park, and even that, I was like, what the fuck? I just had to tell this woman my mom passed away and I got to pay her storage. Did she just tell me she needs the death certificate? Like, and that's why I scheduled this show and I titled it what I did. Because I knew I didn't want to come on here today, guys, and do a regular show like I did this morning. I shouldn't be doing that yet. I honestly shouldn't. I shouldn't even be back on here yet. If it wasn't for the fact that this is how I make a living, I wouldn't be. You know, but I was so extremely depressed. While I was at the skate park, that I knew if I was going to do a show, it should be an addiction and recovery show. And Sally mentioned earlier to do a show about mental health. I don't really know how to do that other than to talk back and forth with you guys. But I'm scared of every night and every day. I don't know what's going to come each day. And when I tell you guys last night, or when I tell you guys that last night was one of the worst nights of my life, I don't know what the fuck happened to me, but I tried to sleep and I was tossing and turning and I was up and down and I was full of energy. I was like flipping out. I was getting up, smoking a cigarette, laying back down. And this went on for like 6 fucking hours of me just trying desperately to sleep and having the most vivid fucking nightmares. I mean, shit that's terrifying. I've been having nightmares since my mom passed of everything from me relapsing to me selling drugs again, to me going to jail, to me getting killed, to, you know, all different members of my family being sick, to you know, my mom, of course, me and my mom, I had nightmares about her. I'm seeing her when she passed again in my mind over and over. I'm just struggling like a motherfucker. And I'm scared to death of tonight when I lay down to go to sleep. What's going to happen? I had a couple of days, Casey Robinson. I had a couple of days where I slept really well. I had a bunch of days where I didn't, but last night was something else. I never want to experience that again. I don't know what's going on. I do have a doctor's appointment on the 14th, and I need to talk to my doctor about some things. But I'm having a very tough time, guys, and I don't know how to handle it. So instead of me going on and on and on and on about this, since I've already said a lot of these things on the other shows, maybe tell me about your experiences. You know, tell me about when you've had to deal with something like this. And I don't know, maybe I could learn something from you. A lot of people have spoken to me. A lot of people have given me advice and stuff. And they've also told me what, you know, I'm going to be dealing with for quite a long time yet, what's going to be coming. But I haven't had one like consistent string of emotions since this whole thing has happened. It's just all over the fucking place. Richard Yu. Well, I'm sorry to hear you're struggling, bro. I'm not going to bring politics into this, even though I understand what you're saying 100%. I don't want to talk politics in here, but I'm sorry you're struggling. You have addiction issues? You're depressed? That's not good. It's miserable, isn't it? Yeah, Chris, it is. It is. You asking me that, Pat, or Capello? I don't know. If you're asking me that, oh, shit. This show would be 2 days long for me to give you all the reasons. Dreaming about your fears. I am. And it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. I'm having trouble here. And it's so funny because it really doesn't matter how prepared you are. Like, you know this is coming. You know it's going to happen. Even, you know, during the hospice thing, we were talking to each other about the fact that she's going to pass away soon. Like, we're fully aware that it's going to be tops a matter of days. But then it happened, and it was like, we didn't know any of that. It's just a shock. No matter what, you're shocked because you never really think it's going to happen. Yeah, I agree. But it's tough. Not that it's tough to think about the good time. It's just that's when you get the most sad, I think, because you want more of those good times. You don't want to, you don't want to go the rest of your life without making any new memories or anything. But this is what happens. I just, like I said, guys, I've dealt with so much death in my life. But the thing is, maybe it's because I'm a little sick myself. And, even at least back in the day with friends, even, it wasn't hard for me to let people go. But there's never anything like this. Never anything like, I never lost a parent, a child, a sibling, and this is all new to me. This is the fear I've had my whole life. Really? Was it still hard for you, Pat? Don Berlin, comms, check on AirDM, SATCOM, and can hear but can't see and don't know if my message is coming through. Message on back channel to see if I am getting out. Well, I don't know what you mean by back channel, Don. Well, what is that? Hey, Matt, how you doing, brother? Soto, FBS, you have to keep reminding yourself you lived the nightmare. Breathe, bro. That's good advice, Soto. I guess I do. Chris, I can't even imagine, brother. If you don't clear your mind and meditate, it will be difficult to fall asleep. Try not to think about the stress of falling asleep. Put on headphones, playing rain or the ocean. That's good advice too, Mike, because that was one of my main problems last night is I could not take my mind off this. I try to distract myself with all trying to shop on my phone and do all types of shit to try to take my mind off it, but I couldn't. So, I guess meditation I'm not good at, but I could at least try a little harder to clear my head. And I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but is that right, Philly Bob? Yeah, I bet you do. Sorry to hear that too, bro. I'm very sorry for your loss, man. Really, Pat? I have family like that. It used to help me too, Mike, but I can't say I need complete quiet because I have to have some sort of background noise, but I don't know if I could sleep with like an earbud in, and Shanna's next to me. So I have to, whatever I'm listening to has to be through an earbud. It's the separation from the person that's hard for the living to accept and deal with, FBS, bro. Yeah. It is. It is. See, there's things I can't tell you about because it's too personal. Things that took place during, the last, week of my mom's life that were actually really nice. I can't talk about. Some people that are close to me here know what I'm talking about, but I was able to make a couple of things happen for her and other people that were really, really nice before she passed. That brings me a little bit of comfort. It really does. Like I was able to make some, last conversations take place and stuff. But yet I can't deal with the fact that my last conversation with her was my last. Chris, I'm sure you never thought it was going to be easy. Don't punish yourself. No, I certainly never did. Monty, tough times don't last forever. Speaking to a professional is always a great resource. Anxiety, depression. I'm familiar with both, unfortunately. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. I am too, but not like this. Like yesterday, one of the reasons I couldn't sleep, I do know this part of it, was because somewhere around like 5 o'clock or something, 6 o'clock, I got in a real bad mood. I got real down, and all of a sudden I felt like I was going to pass out. Not like faint, but I mean like I got so incredibly exhausted that I knew I had no choice but to just go to fucking sleep. And I slept until like 10 o'clock, 10:30 or something. I woke up starving. It was very odd. I came downstairs, I ate, I went back to bed, but I was just up. I didn't really try to go back to sleep again until like 2:30 in the morning, and that's when all fucking hell broke loose. But the depression hits me like that. I'll be feeling somewhat decent, at least physically, sometimes mentally. And then all of a sudden, you get that feeling in your head, like your head's like there's weights in your head, like it's just going to fall off your shoulders. You know, all you could do is lay down. I remember that from when I had a real bad clinical depression when I was a kid. Yeah, I think you're right, bro. My emotions, as much as I tried to compartmentalize them, I'd crack. You think of the final good time you had and realize that's it, no more. Exactly, bro. Exactly, yeah. I'm beating myself up over every like even the one day she was in the hospital, I woke up and instead of going straight to the hospital like I was doing the other days, I fucking I shaved my head and my face and showered and all that, and even just that, I beat myself up because it's like, well, what if I would have that's like an hour and a half extra that I would have had with her when she was awake and talking, so I'm very angry at myself. I'm angry at a lot of things. Don Berlin, let Chris know if he wishes for me or War to come via speaker rather than StreamYard, can try and call on speaker. Maybe, Don. Let's see. Thank you, brother. Oh, I understand. She was his caretaker? Or she just cared about him? No, but I understand why you said it, Pat. Yeah, well, that's what I do. And when I lay in bed, I never go right. Well, for a while there I was crashing early till this whole thing started, till my mom got sick. Well, sicker. I went in the hospital. But yeah, I always lay in bed and listen to something. You know what I mean? I listen to politics or some. I've been listening to a lot of videos about grief and shit like that. But then when I go to bed, I take the earbud out. Oh yeah, Jesse. Well, during the last couple of weeks, I skated yesterday and today, but before that, I had only skated maybe twice or 3 times in the last couple of weeks, something like that. And not like any long sessions, like out there for hours. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I left. But yesterday and today, was it? No. Yesterday I went to the gym. The day before yesterday and today I was there. Today I was there maybe an hour and a half, and the day before yesterday I was there like 3.5 hours, I think. I have to, because the one day I didn't go skating, I forget, it was a few days back, maybe a week back, I don't know what it was. I didn't go skating, and it was nice and dry out. It was hot as a motherfucker, but still. And I started to feel that depression shit. But I noticed when I skate, I don't really feel it like that. Oh, yeah. It's hard for me because my fucking attention span. I wish there was a pill to fix this or something. My fucking mind is all over the place. That's why I don't even write the songs anymore. Like, it's just getting worse and worse. And now it's worse than it's ever been. Because no matter what I think about, I go back to my mom, you know? There's no perfect ending. That's the thing. Nobody's ever been able to say, well, they died, but they died at the perfect time, in the perfect way, in the perfect place, and everything that had to be done or said was done and said before they died. And there's no way. There's always going to be something. There's always going to be something that you regret or that you feel like you missed. Oh, yeah, bro, I feel you, man. I hope that doesn't happen for a long time, Pat. I'm sorry I'm doing one of these shows, guys. I just, maybe I'll try to make this the last one where I talk about this stuff. But I think it's a good idea. It's like, when my mom got that bad news that day a couple of years ago, and Don told me I better come on and do an addiction and recovery show. Chris FBS, you were running on adrenaline and you're crashing because your body is trying to slow down. Believe me, I have been there several times. I think you're right. Everything slowed down on Saturday. And it's like every night's been worse ever since. Yeah, Matt. I don't care what anyone says. Losing a parent that's in a cage is a whole other animal. Knowing they died alone with no one caring for them. The Bureau of Prisons is filthy. I hear you, bro. That's got to be torture. I'm thinking about it more and more, Mike. No. I appreciate you asking, Pat, but no. I just need to learn how to cope with this. That's all. And I know I will. I have no choice. I'm not going to relapse, guys. I'm not going to allow myself to. I mean, I shouldn't say I'm not going to because anything can happen, but I'll do everything I can to avoid that because then I'd be letting everybody down. And believe it or not, in a lot of ways, I am kind of the glue that holds everything together in my family. So if I come apart, everything does. So I won't do that. Plus, I wouldn't disgrace her, memory like that. I wouldn't do that to her, I don't know if I worded that right, but you know what I mean. So, I don't feel like I'm going to go drink or go get some coke. I'll tell you right now, I'm never going to get no coke. These days, you got to be insane. You don't know what the fuck's in it. Drinking is the biggest risk for me. And although there was that one night where I probably would have given my left arm to just get wasted, I didn't do it, and I don't see that happening. But man, I'd be lying if I told you that I wouldn't kill for a fucking drink right now. Oh my God. I told you I can taste it. Like what I would do for a 151 in Coke or something. Oh my God. A big giant fucking one, like a pitcher. Of course, after 6 years, it probably wouldn't take much. A little 6 ounces or something, 151 with a splash of Coke. Probably be lit. Man, it would be wonderful for a minute, maybe for a couple hours. And then what? And I'm the kind of person that even though I know, and I know this is going to sound crazy to you guys, I say I know this because I've done it so many times. I know that I could go drink like for a day or a night, get fucked up, and then be fine the next day and not drink anymore if I don't want to. But I don't even want to drink that one night. As much as I do crave it, I know what the consequences are. I know that just the depression you feel the next day sometimes, especially if you're, in a situation where you're clean and sober and you fucked up. I've seen people go through this my whole life. You're suicidal the next day because you know what you just did. And the hangover and the way you feel, a feeling that you haven't felt in years. It's pure fucking misery. I don't know what's going on out there. Hold on, guys. All right. Oh, it does, Mike. It does. That's one thing I know about depression from way back in the day. Exercise. It's better than anything, better than Prozac, better than anything they can give you. Exercise. That's why even today, even though I never go skating that late in the afternoon anymore, I was like, fuck this. And I went, but I was really pushing the limits a little bit today. I went a little crazy. At one point, I went down this ramp. I had so much fucking speed that when I started to turn, the board was like drifting out from under me. It's a miracle I saved myself on that one. I was tripping today. I was going down some enormous ramps. I was doing some wild shit. But I had a good time. And then, a whole bunch of fucking kids showed up on foot, and they're playing Frisbee and shit all over the ramps and the bowl and everything, So all the skaters just had to stop skating because the kids were playing Frisbee. So I left. Fuck it. I think we all get depressed from time to time. Everybody, people that say they don't, I don't believe them. Oh yeah, definitely. Except for, I think there's some people have no conscience and they don't give a fuck about anything, shit. What the fuck just happened? Like, I could use Tony Pizza as an example. He's a miserable person, but I don't think he gets depressed. He's miserable, like angry. I mean, he's never happy, but I don't think he gets depressed because I don't think he cares enough about anything to get depressed over it. That's what I'm trying to get back to, Jesse. Some semblance of normalcy. I'm trying to just, I don't know, function like nothing happened, as crazy as that sounds. But, and another part of it is that, there's so much to do yet. Like, it's not over. We haven't gone through all her stuff. We haven't gotten rid of things. We still didn't sort everything out. There's a lot of things that need to be taken care of. We still didn't get the death certificates, which me and my brother both going to need. We didn't get the ashes back. We didn't spread the ashes yet. We didn't empty her storage. We didn't do any of this shit yet, So the feeling that it's not over. I think once everything's done, you could say, okay, it's over. It happened. Everything that needed to be taken care of is taken care of now. I could try to move on. But when there's all these things that still need to be done in relation to a death like this, you can't move on because you're living every day right in the middle of it. I don't know, man. Yeah, I agree with that, Casey. No doubt about that. That's all right, Matt. I appreciate you being here. Ain't that some shit, Ronan? That's got to make you angry. Oh, caretaker. No, yeah. Well, I'm sure that to an extent, a bit of a relief then. Yeah, that's too much. Snowman crumble. Buprenorphine, is that how you pronounce that? Has sent me to the darkest, loneliest, hopeless place I've ever been. I can't feel a thing, basically. What is that? Is that like Subutex or something? Suboxone? What is that? I don't know what that is. Am I ADHD? You asking me? Oh my God. No fucking... Bro, it's a miracle I can even get a show done. I was never like any of this my whole life. My whole life I was able to focus and concentrate. I never had any type of ADD or ADHD. I never was easily distracted. I never was all over the place, as far as my thoughts and shit. I had some anxiety and stuff, but that's about it. This is all since I got clean. I'm all fucked up. But you know why that is because it's just like a car accident. You get in a car accident, you don't even feel your injuries till later. You're in shock. That's how brain damage is sometimes. Like when you're using all those years, you're doing damage to your brain. You're doing damage to your memory. You're doing damage to everything. And it's not until you stop using that all that shit catches up with you and you start to feel it and realize that these are the issues you have now. You know what I mean? It's just like a lot of people, they quit smoking, then they get lung cancer. You know, after they quit, sometimes years and years and years. And I have a family member who got lung cancer 20 fucking years after he quit smoking cigarettes. You know, same with liver problems with alcoholics and stuff like that. And that's the way it is with your brain, you know. All that damage is going to catch up to you someday. Oh, I am, Jesse, every chance I can. Lost my mom 32 years ago and Pop 25. Should have talked to someone in hindsight. The anger is just under this, still just under the surface. I bet, bro. NJ Wise guy. Yeah, you're right. It's just hard sometimes. It's hard. I don't know what to do. Because I'm in a situation where I do have a lot of free time. You know what I mean? I do. So that's one of my biggest problems is keeping my mind occupied with something. I'm doing crazy shit. Like I'm just sitting on my fucking phone, like looking for things, searching for things, researching stuff. Like when I say looking for things, I mean things I have wanted for a long time, trying to find so I could, I guess, buy, or I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just trying to do something to keep my mind occupied. I'm like buried in my fucking phone because that's the only thing. When you're alone, what else can you have as a distraction? I'm not somebody who watches TV or none of that shit, unless I'm skating. I mean, and there's not a lot of guys. I'm not a people person. I don't hang around groups of people. I haven't in so fucking long. So that, week and a half or whatever, from when my mom got sick, well, she got sick on Monday. She passed on Sunday. And then it wasn't until Friday that we did the memorial. So you're talking about almost 2 weeks. I was with a group of people every day, all day, at the hospital, at my brother's, the memorial, and every day in between because, we had 3 private viewings at the funeral home because different family was coming. They wanted to go see my mom. I had family from all over the fucking East Coast here visiting, so, you're taking care of people. You're trying to entertain people. You're buying food and, trying to do whatever you can to I guess you say, make your guests comfortable, especially people that have come a long way they haven't seen in a long time. So all that stuff was a distraction. But like I said, I told Shanna on Friday that I was scared to death of Saturday because I knew Saturday it was all over. Everybody goes back home and Shanna goes back to work and there's no distractions anymore. Thank you, Gerard. Thank you. I know, Casey. I feel like I just feel bad that I'm doing. I know you guys would rather be seeing a show about some other shit right now. And quite honestly, I need to be doing a show about some other shit because I have to start making money doing shows again. But this is what I felt like I needed to do today. And I'm amazed that 73 of you are here with me while I do it. Thank you so much. And I did get I believe I got, what the fuck? Hold on, guys. I thought I got something. Oh, I did. Okay. I was looking at the wrong app. This is from an anonymous person, $10. He said, I feel you, brother. Life can really beat you down. You have really good people in your chat that care about you. Yeah, I'm extremely lucky, Mr. Anonymous. Thank you. I had to make you Mr. Anonymous number 2 because I already have a Mr. Anonymous number 1. Thank you very much. I do. That's one of the biggest, I hate to use the word blessings in my life. You guys really is amazing. Well, thank you, Pat. I'll try not to. Snowman Crumble, I feel you. I can't either, and my mom's been gone for a while now. I guess there's always, your mind plays tricks on you. It's like, I should be back. I mean, she always comes back from wherever. You know what I mean? Even if I don't see her for a couple of weeks, I see her again. I don't know. Yeah, War, I hear you, bro. Oh my God, BB. That's tough. Hopefully, Chris. You're overwhelmed with negative thoughts and emotions. This is especially hard for someone who has control over those things, meaning you. Those feelings, thoughts throw all logic out the window. Very well said, BTF. You know me. Yes. Yes. I have no, that's the perfect way to say, I have no control over how I'm thinking or feeling. And yes, logic is completely out the fucking window, because logically, you know, you have to know that your family member is gone and they're not coming back. But there's all these different things going on in my head that are making me feel like maybe it's not over yet. Maybe, I don't know. As stupid as that sounds, it's in a lot of ways impossible for me to imagine that she's gone. Or impossible for me to believe it, maybe I should say. Well, let's hope that doesn't happen, Snowman Crumble. Oh, yeah, she will. She will. My least fear is that you relapse. It's the dealing with depression that worries me. Me too, to be honest with you, Pat. Yeah, me too. Only because I've had some really bad thoughts. Like, I was laying in bed the other night, and I was thinking some very irrational things. I had some very bad ideas in my head. I'm sure you can imagine what I'm talking about. And that's not like me. It actually scared me because, again, like BTF said, I had no control over that. The fact that it was entering my mind was scary. Jesse Roth, Chris, your mother will always be with you. Trust me on this, and don't waste your time on what ifs. Concentrate on the good that happened. Your mom wouldn't want you feeling guilty. I think you're right, Jesse. Oh, yeah, no, yeah. I won't do it. Yeah, the depression is more of a threat. But I'll tell you what, though, I could fantasize about that 151 and Coke, and you can't stop me. I can fantasize about it. I can fantasize about that, the initial euphoria where everything just goes away and it doesn't matter. You know, it's what comes after that causes the problem. What did somebody just say to me? Chris, you like being in control, and this is here to teach you we really don't have control over nothing. That is what scares you. You're probably right, because I'm 100% a control freak. Everybody has to know that about me. That's who I am. And I feel very uncomfortable and miserable almost when things are out of my control. And this is completely and totally out of my control. Even how I feel about it, I can't control. I think she would, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Oh, I know. Sam the man, 100%. Nah, it wasn't, Pat. We know what you mean. Yeah, Chris. Especially, you know, I made it this far. I mean, I just celebrated 6 years of sobriety. And I'm not the kind of person, listen, I know, you know how many people I've known in recovery that they use every chance they can get away with it? They'll go have a few drinks hours before anybody comes home or something, or they'll pop a couple of pills and take a long fucking nap before they have to face anyone, or they'll sneak a couple of lines and then go tell everybody about how long they've been clean. Shit, we got people on MobTube that do that. fucking, we had one guy that used to come on the show high as a kite on heroin and brag about how he's got 8,934 fucking days clean and everything else. I am not somebody who could do, I am so fucking OCD and everything has to be so perfect that if I relapse, I have to start from zero again. And I can't do that. Not after 6 fucking years. I'd have to start from day one. No, I made a commitment when I got clean and sober, and I got to stick with it. I'll tell you what, though, I am, even though I know that this probably hasn't hit me, you know, nearly as hard as it will at some point, I am proud of myself that I haven't done anything crazy, you know, because I'm sure you guys all know that alcohol is not far from anyone, and cocaine for me is like, I could get a bag of Coke right now quicker than I can get a pack of cigarettes. So, you know, it's especially tough when you always have the opportunity. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Gilded Age. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the kind words. I do. Oh, yeah, Chris, without a doubt. People like us don't got people. We are the people got. I know you don't know what I'm saying, but read it in a week. No, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Miss Can't Be Wrong. But at the same time, I feel like I'm not going to even begin to start. I'm not going to be able to really begin to grieve until everything's done. They're giving us 3, actually. Well, we're paying for 3. Yeah, I don't know why, but we have to pay $20 per copy. Ain't that some shit? We got I guess listen, I never did this before. It was never my responsibility to pay for somebody's funeral or cremation, or, you know, I don't realize, I didn't realize just how much they nickel and dime you to fucking death and everything else. Holy shit. Chris, please don't apologize for coming in here and talking about this. I believe I'm talking for everyone here. We prefer you come here and lean on your friends for support. Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate you. Mike has been real good through this whole thing, too. Been real good to me, man. He has. Suboxone. Oh, that's what that buprenorphine, whatever it is. Yeah. At least we cured him of shoulder humps. Not quite. Diagnosed with what, Pat? Oh, really? Oh, because we were talking about, you're diagnosed with what, though, Pat? You're not talking about lung cancer or anything, are you? Yeah, well, listen, I have 2 people in my family. One has lung cancer, and the other one has lung cancer that spread to her brain. So, and I told Shanna, you know, one of my biggest fears is that I never really lost, as far as family, no one I was ever really, really close to. But I'm afraid that it's just going to be, you know, like dominoes now, you know, one after another. That's what I'm scared of. I don't know, Pat. I'm kind of a solitary person. It has, I mean, over the last couple of weeks, but I won't seek that out, you know? Like if my brother called me up tomorrow and said, hey, there's going to be 20 of us at the house tomorrow, we're going to be doing something for Mom, I'd be there in a heartbeat. But I'm not the kind of guy to like seek out, you know. Even you guys see, even with the way I am with Cam and stuff, I hang out with him more than anybody, but I don't, you know, it's not that much. When he was real sick, I was with him as much as possible. But everybody knows me. You could ask him that. That's the way I am. You know, I don't seek out companionship, or I don't seek out opportunities to hang out with friends. I really don't. I love being with my stepkids. I love being with my daughter. I love being with my mom. I love being with Shanna. You know, but I groups of friends, it's not really my thing. I don't know why. I've always been like, maybe that's why I get rid of them so easily. I don't know. Even back in the day, you know, I didn't even like using with groups of friends. I didn't even like going out to the bars with a bunch of people and stuff. It's just not my thing. In the streets, you hang out with a lot of people. There's no way around it. But otherwise, it's not for me. Thank you, Sam. It's always the hardest when all the guests leave. Take the time you need to grieve. She deserves it, and so do you. I'm going to try. Oh, why would you say no one cares, Jane? That's not true. She said, can I say something? I know no one cares, but this is the worst time of year for me. My birthday just passed. My mom died 4 days before my birthday when I was 21 every single year. You're 21. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Jane. I am. And I don't like hearing that anybody's feeling the way you are right now. But this is the right place. If you think nobody cares, believe me, you're wrong. You're right, bro. Yeah, it's crazy here too, man. This fucking rain came out of I mean, I knew it was coming, but that shit was like sunny, and then all of a sudden, fucking downpour. You prefer to be alone, Jane? That's tough. Your birthday, it's always going to be hard. I understand you wanting to be alone to some extent. I don't know how I'm going to feel every year, you know, on the date my mom passed or something like that. Or 4th of July, because it was so close. I might want to be with people. I might not. I don't know. I like to be alone sometimes because it's the only way I can. I have to think things through. No matter what it is that I'm struggling with, I have to go over it a million times in my fucking head until I've in some way, shape, or form worked it out mentally. That's the only reason, you know, there are times during this whole thing where I prefer now to be alone, because there's just so much I feel like I got to think about. They do, Pat. Thank you, John Martin. If I didn't already put your thing up, I think I skipped a few comments. Thank you very much. I guess it will. I hope it will. Yeah, war, I know. Yeah, Ronan, I agree. As crazy as it sounds, everything about a bottle of Johnny Black is a lore. I know the sound of unscrewing the cap, the smell of scotch, and the chaos. My life will get destroyed by it. Yeah. I know what you mean too, bro. I can fucking, oh my God. It's like, it's become so vivid. Like I could picture them pouring the drink, every fucking drop of it in the glass, and the smell of it, and the taste, the feeling I'd get, you know? We know it all too well. But can't do it. It does suck, doesn't it? It's like having an allergy to something. It's like if you're allergic to peanuts, you'd fucking kill to have, like, say, before you develop, because people do develop allergies. Say your whole life your favorite thing was fucking peanut butter cups. Then you get a fucking peanut allergy, and you want one so bad, and you should be able to have one. You're old enough to make your own decisions, but if you have it, you'll die. Well, that's kind of like alcoholism and drug addiction. I'm over 21, goddammit. I'm legally allowed to drink. I'm 45 fucking years old. Nobody can tell me what to do. But yet I can't do it. I know I can't. And it sucks too when you're an alcoholic or a drug addict. Well, more so an alcoholic, we'll say. Drug addict too, but I'm saying alcoholic because alcohol is legal and acceptable for some reason. I'll never understand why. But when you're just around normal people all the time who could have a drink and do, you get jealous because you're like, motherfucker, man, I should be able to just have a drink right now too. I can't. They can, but I can't. Why is that? Oh my God, guys. When my mom passed at my brother's, I'm telling you, it's a good thing he doesn't keep a lot of alcohol around. If he did, I don't know. I might have ran right in the fucking kitchen or wherever it was and just guzzled it. I don't know. I probably would have done anything to cope at that moment. Jesus Christ, Miss Campion. I'm so sorry to hear that. Really? Wow. Yeah, that's what I think, War. Well, Jane, here's the place to talk about it. I mean, you could talk to people in the chat. If you ever want to come up on the panel, you could talk about it. We're all here to support you. I'm very sorry that you go through that. And I'm probably going to go through something similar every year. But your birthday is tough. Happy birthday to you, by the way. Steve Blair, FBS, I can't tell you what day or date my wife passed, just the time, because I had my head on her heart when it stopped. I happened to look at the clock. Oh, my God, Steve. I am so sorry for your loss, by the way, bro. I wasn't going to bring it up unless you did, but that's horrible, man. Oh, my God. Had to have been a fucking nightmare, bro. Yeah, I know. I think about John Alight, and anybody who, lost a child, especially, some nonsense, like an overdose or something, because nothing can be worse than losing a child. Nothing. And I've been thinking about John a lot and other people I know who have lost children. I will, Matt. Believe that. Jesus, Jesse. Fucking terrible. You mean the addiction and recovery shows? Having a bad day, Jane? Well, talk it out in the chat. Or if you would want to. I mean, I don't know if you'd want to. You can grab the link. You don't have to show your face or anything. Talk to us. Tell us the story. It might help you. Fuck face. You better take care of yourself. I will do my best, BB. I promise you that. What's blurry? This can't be wrong. Oh, God. Well, I'm always here if you need to talk, Steve. That's tough, bro. I don't know, Pat. I don't know. I started dealing with death very young, and I don't mean, older people dying. That's new to me. I'm talking about people my age, since I was 15, 16 years old, I started losing friends. I mean, I shit you not. I swear to Christ. I read the list once. I mean, I have more dead friends than I have living. They're probably fucking 20 fucking people or so that I was very, very close to. Some more than others, of course, but I started losing when I was 15, 16 years old. So I've dealt with death a lot, but there's nobody in this world, that other than my daughter, I'd say, that can compare with losing my mother, because, you know, my mother's my flesh and blood, and she's been there, obviously. You know, it sounds stupid to say your mother's been there since the day you were born. Your whole life, you know, your mother's with you. Even when other people come and go, fathers, friends, girlfriends, your mother's always there with you. You know? Oh, God. Charlie, thank you for the $2. I'm sure you're right. I just hate to think about it. Kira, 20 pounds. You will feel better in time, Chris. So sorry, Steve. Thank you, Kira. I hope so. You're a critical thinker, so one of the more difficult things you're currently dealing with is you like to make it make sense, but right now, even you don't make sense to yourself. BTF, you know me well. Very true. I admire people who just have their head in the clouds. I know it's not a good way to be. It's much better off in life, I think, being a critical thinker. But there's some people who just, everything is like blah, 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 whatever. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever has happened is in the past. No big deal. I'm not like that. I got to think through everything over and over and over. Absolutely, Monty. Hell yeah, bro. 71 of them. It's hard to explain. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. It just happens. It's not something you can will on yourself. Yeah. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry. Jesus Christ, Matt. I bet it is every year, man. Sheesh. Firsts are the hardest. My sweet son-in-law died young, leaving my daughter and granddaughter a widow and fatherless. It's been many years since then. Time does heal, but no one never forgets. Yeah. I'm sorry you went through all that, Gilded Age. Let me put this up, guys. Oh, yeah, BB, that's got to be tough, man. Happens all the time in there, nursing homes. I don't know if you ever get used to it, you know? I don't know. I'm sorry, Matt. I'm depressing Matt. Oh, you did, Steve? Oh, that's fantastic, bro. Oh, my God, that is awesome. That is awesome, Steve. Yeah, it's, oh, God. I people told me to do that a couple of years ago when we thought my mom was dying. It's the best advice you can give anyone. Tape conversations you have with people, you know, and I'm not talking about everybody in your everyday. I'm talking about if you know somebody's sick or dying, get them to talk about things, you know, like my mom, she told me about her childhood so many times, but I always wanted to be able to remember it. So one day I just told her, I'm going to record you. Just tell me all about your life, you know, and I have that. And my last couple of conversations with her, I have recorded, the ones that actually recorded. When I went in and had a talk with her all by myself in the hospital room, the first day they put her on comfort care, that's one of the ones that got cut off. But I did record. She couldn't talk, but I recorded myself, so I knew what I had said to her, and I told everybody when they had the day before when she could talk and stuff, you know, tape your conversation with her, and then the next day too, when you know we all went in one by one to just speak to her alone, you know, and I said record yourself, so you know, and you never know, she might wake up and say something. Record it, but it's one thing I always have her voice. You know what I mean? And I'll always have her talking about. One day we even sat outside. This was not long after we got Peanut. She just loved that dog. Oh my God, she loved Peanut so much. And she would sit on the porch sometimes and watch Peanut and Rusty. And I just started recording, and I listened to her talk about the dogs and how much she loved them and how much joy Peanut brings to her and stuff, you know. So I have all that. I can, Ronan. I definitely can, and I do. Oh, no doubt, Steve. Yeah, I agree. You should, Jesse. You really should. I mean, look, all our phones have that call recorder. I don't know about iPhones. I know Androids, they got a call recorder. You just turn that bitch on and hit the record button and sit your phone there in the hospital bed or whatever and just have conversations. Or if your family member's still at home, just record fucking phone calls, whatever. If it's legal, if you could do it legally. I don't think they're going to tell on you. You know what I'm saying? Do that even. But I got a couple of very special things recorded in my mom's last days there. Matter of fact, the last day where she was truly lucid and, able to communicate well, I am so grateful. I thought about something late at night in the hospital. It was like 11 o'clock, and I asked my mom if she'd want to do something. And she said yes, and I was able to make it happen, and I got it recorded. It was a beautiful fucking thing, man. It gave me a lot of peace of mind about something. I didn't even get to see my mom because it was still during COVID. I couldn't visit the fucking old folks' home where they had her doing physical therapy and dialysis. That's horrible, man. I'm sorry to hear that. I've heard so many stories like that, man. People lost someone when they couldn't even go see them because of COVID. It's another good idea. I did the same thing, Steve. But this was, when my mom first got that news and you guys were all telling me what I should do about recording conversations and stuff. And yeah, I got old photo albums, and I made sure she told me who everyone, because a lot of those people died before I was old enough to remember them. So I want to know who's this one, and, about different events, what was going on here. And, I got her to do that. That's horrible, Matt. Nick Valente. Hey, Chris, I wouldn't consider this a show. I think it's more like a conversation with friends. I think you're right, Nick. Thank you for being here, by the way, brother. That's a shame, Matt. That really is heartbreaking. Yeah, War, it's what we got to do. Another one that went through such a horrible experience, I can't even imagine. But I learned one thing, not like I didn't already know, but it reinforces it every time you lose somebody. Guys, hug everybody every chance you get. Kiss them on the cheek. Tell them you love them. Take them places. Spend time with them. Have conversations. Record those conversations. Have a good time. And live life to the fullest with the people you love, because once they're gone, they're gone. What's funny is it's pouring over here. I told you guys that when my mom passed, my first thought was, I wish I could see her again someday. And I told you guys that it was the first time I ever felt like I wish I believed in heaven, because you guys know I don't. I'm an atheist. And for days, I tried to convince myself that she'll show me some type of sign that she's still here with me, or that she's watching over me, or that she's okay. And I haven't seen anything. There hasn't been any signs, and it further reinforces my belief that there is nothing. You just die, and that's it. There's no afterlife. There's no heaven. There's no hell. And that's also, particularly heartbreaking. But it's not new to me. That's the way I always felt. I guess I just tried to fool myself into thinking maybe I was wrong, and something will happen, but nothing has. Oh my God, FPS, someone told me to record my mom and have me and the kids ask her questions we always wanted to ask. We set it up, 719. Bro, yeah, hell yeah, man. Yep. That's what you got to do. Because you don't want to live the rest of your life wondering what those answers would have been. It breaks my heart because when I was talking to the storage lady today, she had to give me information that I had to text, and I don't have a pen and pad. It's 2025, so I texted to myself, and my last text to myself was when my mom, the last time she was able to speak, I told you she was giving me. I asked her a whole bunch of questions. Is there anything we need to know? Is there any place you have things you want us to know about? Is the combination to your safe still the same? Because she told me a long time ago there's things in her safe that I have to get out. All these questions I had to ask her. And then, of course, the sauce. My mom's sauce was worth its weight in gold as far as I'm concerned. And I always told my mom, I don't want that recipe until, I feel like I'm going to need it, in other words. And she didn't want to give it to me until she was going to die, So I asked her for it, and she started giving it to me. And then she couldn't stay awake anymore. She was having trouble remembering, too. So I got I got part of it. But today, it's like these things hit you when, even when I had to explain to the woman my mom passed away, and I was like, what? Did I just say that? And then when I looked at my phone to put this information, I saw that part of that sauce recipe she had given me, and I was like, God. And I never got the recipe, which is something she always wanted me to have, and I always wanted to have. My daughter has it. She gave it to my daughter. I just hope she kept it. I know my daughter makes it from time to time. Yeah, I know. Somebody's telling me it doesn't happen on your time and you can't rush it as far as signs and stuff. But I just, listen, guys, I gave it a shot. I can't fool myself for too long. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm 1,000% sure that there's nothing after you die. That's heartbreaking. I wish it wasn't true. And I can't say 100% that it is, but as far as I'm concerned, it is. So I gave it a little bit of time. I was hoping I would see something or get some sign. And logically, I know, like people say, well, they come to you in your dreams. Well, you're going to dream about people. It doesn't mean they're coming to you in your dream. You know what I mean? And I don't want to say that to depress anybody, because I know a lot of people get comfort from getting things that they think are signs and seeing people in dreams and stuff. But the other day, though, I was in my bedroom. My mom's door is going to sound stupid, but just I put a doorknob and a new doorknob and lock on her door before she moved in here, and it made a different sound when you open the door than any other door in the house. It was a different doorknob and lock than the other doors. And I always knew from the hallway if it was my stepson or my mom coming out of, their room. Like I knew which one it was by the sound of the door. And the other day I was in bed and I heard the sound of that door open. And I jumped up and ran, and it was Shanna going in there. But oh yeah, no. I don't think anybody's going to change my mind about that. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I do believe in that stuff. Are you serious, Miss Campion? Holy shit! Now that I would take as a sign. I found out I have lung disease purely by accident. They were checking something else and saw my lungs. My life has been consumed with this since then. There is no cure aside from a lung transplant. Oh, God, I'm so sorry to hear that, Jane. What's it from? What caused it? Smoking or something? God, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah. Well, you never know. At 73, all I want and got to see my son and granddaughter happy, healthy, and to see my great-grandson born. That's great, BB. You know, I thought about that with my mom, too. Like, me and my brother and certain friends of mine that are considered like, you know, like my mom considered like her own, you know, child or children. And just people in my family, you know, everybody's got fucked up people around them, you know, and we had a lot of issues in my family, no question, a lot of us. There was times when I was fucked up. There was times when my brother was fucked up. There's times when other family members were a mess. And my mom was always the glue that held everything together, and she was the one that helped people. And I do feel like she waited until everybody had their shit together, you know, because I was able to look around the room of everybody that was there and say, you know, everybody's in a position where they're going to be okay. Finally. Well, I hope you're right, Pat. I do. That's crazy, Miss Campy. Jesus Christ. That's a shame, Jane. I'm so sorry. You talking to me, Sam? Oh, my God. If you add up all the years, I don't know if you're asking me. I feel like you know my story. Well, I've been dreaming about my mom every night. Vivid dreams, very vivid dreams. I've been dreaming about a lot of stuff, but yeah, I've been dreaming about her. You know, it's so crazy. I know this sounds so stupid because we're all adults. We know what death is, but it's just when you think about somebody was just here. They were just here. You were just talking to them. And then they're gone. It's like, I don't know. Oh, you were asking Matt. Okay, now I got you. Yeah, 29th. 29th Street. That's a little bit of a coincidence. When I watch that movie, the part that always gets me the most is at the end when he's got the lottery money, you know, the kid, Frank Pesh, and he's talking about how dad is gone now, the lawn and all the different stuff, you know. They live upstate or something. And when he says dad is gone now, I always thought about, you know, when my mom passes. And I'll have to say mom is gone now, you know. Well, I hope you're right, Jesse. It would help right now, I'll tell you that much. I'm sorry, Miss Campy. All right, guys. Well, I'm sorry if I depressed the living shit out of everybody. I'm going to get going. I'll see you guys most likely in the morning. I got to make money, so Shanna, John Martin, she's doing well. You're not about to say some ignorant shit, are you? I hope not. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get going, and I'll see you guys most likely tomorrow, like I said. Now, this was an addiction and recovery show, but believe it or not. So please write these numbers down: National Addiction Hotline, Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. And please go to nextdistro.org and get your free Narcan. I beg of you. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to me vent. I love you all. And until next time, salute.